jiu-jitsu specifically, what you mentioned being a white belt. What does that mean, and then what's the progression?
Welcome to the On the Edge podcast.
When you walk
Your
into
host.
a first time on the mat, you are considered a white belt. You wear the white belt, you wear your uniform. As you get better, as you learn certain techniques, each instructor will have different requirements for you to get to the next belt. My requirement is you must have at least one option from every position. So if someone's sitting on your chest, you know how to get out of there. It doesn't work every time, but you always, always, always go to your escape. You never have to think, because as soon as you think, you're too late. So once you get to that level, now you want to, they're your blue belt. Now, purple belt, you need to link A to B to C. Armbar, triangle, omoplata, sweep, this, that, and never stop. Now you're purple belt. And then a brown belt would be the next level, and that just means more time, less mistakes, less space, less wasted movement. You're not moving your body for no reason. And then black belt is just you never gave up. You're really good at defense, and you never gave up. That's it. There's no specific, like, oh my goodness, if I can do this, I'm a black belt. No, you just stick with it. You never give up, and you're no longer soft.
And so you are a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, correct?
Correct.
And then what other styles of fighting are you in love with or proficient with, or is kind of like your go-to?
Well, like you, boxing's so important. That's how most self-defense situations start. So boxing was one of my first loves. A lot of head trauma in boxing, so then you have to learn to wrestle and do some jiu-jitsu. But boxing, I like to kick. Since I played soccer and football, I can kick a 60-yard field goal, so I like to kick. So Muay Thai was more a better fit than boxing.
Interesting. And going back to the belt system, because you are a black belt, what is the first day you walk in the gym and you don't know what you're doing and everybody's just killing you? If you're dedicated, and obviously skill sets vary and different gyms vary, but if you're really dedicated, is it a 20-year journey to a black belt? Is it a 5-year journey? How do people kind of gauge time or skill?
They say an average is 10 years. Now, we have a 15-year blue belt in our gym. It's because you're not consistent. So if you're not consistent with anything, you can't be proficient at it. So 10 years dedicated 5 days a week, 10 years straight. Took me 11 years. My first 6 months of signing up, I only signed up when I had a tournament. If I didn't have a fight coming up, I'm like, I don't really want to go train. I want to go hang out with my friends. Then I realized that's not getting me anywhere. You have to show up. You have to sacrifice your time with your friends or whatever else you want to do. And you got to just go. So 11 years for me. But I've heard of some people get 7 years. What is that? 7 days a week, 3 times a day. Yeah. So 10,000 hours. So there's no specific amount. It's when your coach says you're ready, which is different than a lot of the other martial arts.
Interesting. And I know there's different schools, right? Like most people who have looked up or have a passing interest in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu have obviously heard of the Gracie family and how they started things. So is there different sects or schools or tribes of Jiu-Jitsu practitioners, or is it all kind of the same stuff?
Now that it's becoming more mainstream, it's branching out into different genres. There's wearing the gi with the uniform and the belt. There are 10th Planet gyms. Is the name of Eddie Bravo's series of gyms. They do no gi, so they don't wear any belts. They don't wear any long sleeves. It's just rash guards.
So that's a little bit more of a street fight. That's like that's a little bit more of a wrestling match of something I would be familiar with from high school, right?
Correct.
No heavy lapels to grab or belts to manipulate people or anything.
No pulling clothes, no pulling hair like girls. As you can see, I'm a no gi fan. I want it as real as possible. I want it to be a fight. I want to punch people and elbow people, because then it gives me more weapons to actually, go against a big beast like you. I'm going to need every weapon possible to stop someone 200 pounds plus, since I'm under 150 right now.
Yeah. So are there weight classes in jiu-jitsu? Like if you're competing, whether it's with a gi on, which explain a gi for somebody that's listening to this and doesn't know what we're talking about.
Think of a karate uniform, long sleeves. It's like a bathrobe. In pajamas. You basically fight in robes. I guess back in the day, everyone dressed like that. So then that was more realistic. So now people don't dress in suits and jackets and
Samurai clothes.
yeah, they wear T-shirts and shorts. So now no gi is more with the times.
Interesting. So this 10th Planet, Eddie Bravo, their thought process is we're going to be a little bit more like the UFC, mixed martial arts, you know, shirt off or rash guard or whatever the case may be. And then there's two trains of thought. So there's kind of the gi, the no gi. What are kind of the pros and cons of training in each or either?
Well, to be a black belt, you should be wearing the gi. If you want to receive ranking, it's in the gi because you're not wearing a belt when you're wearing the rash guards and the shorts. So if you wear the gi and someone grabs your clothes and you can still escape, imagine if you don't have the clothes for them to grab. It's going to be easier to escape. So it's going to make your defense a lot better. Being a smaller person, and if I can grab your ankles of your pant leg and hold your pants or your jeans or your whatever, now you can't use that leg. So it's going to benefit you having those grips to control their hands and their legs. And now they're stuck. They have to literally get their foot back before you can continue to fight me. So that can help slow people down. It can slow it down for the person that's not athletic using the gi.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, being a year into this and just kind of starting to get my feet wet and understand what's going on, as a dude who's 210 pounds fighting you who's 140 pounds, or even a couple of the women in the gym. We have a lady in the gym who's a brown belt and she's maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. There is nothing more embarrassing than getting held down by your own clothes by a woman who's 100 pounds. And it's like, yeah, at the end of the day, I can manipulate my weight, but I'm like, how is this girl who's 100 pounds controlling me with my own lapel and my own pants? It's so degrading to be choked by your own clothes. So the whole gi experience is very humbling for anybody who hasn't done it. It's like, if we take those off, I can kind of slither out of places and I know how to roll around from wrestling, and you can kind of get up and box and kick things and do dirty things. But once you put that gi on, it's like, you're just at the mercy of anybody who knows more than you do. So when you get to your level, are there guys that can make you feel the way I feel? Like, are there guys at a level of a second, a third, a fourth black belt, 30 years in it, that can just manipulate you in a way that's kind of emasculating?
More than you can imagine.